Trinidad and Tobago, Dominica, St. Lucia, wherever you may be viewing from Curacao. We welcome you to Book Club Corner, and I am your host, Jewel Green, and every Wednesday on Book Club Corner, in the beautiful city of Scarborough, Tobago, we chat with local authors in the diaspora across the Caribbean about their books, their love for the written word. We also chat with publishing industry stakeholders and those who are in the literary arts about the state of the literary arts. And today is no different. We have with us an amazing author, and her name is Dawn French. She is from the beautiful island of St. Lucia, and she is the co-author of Creation Fire by CAFRA, Women's Future by UNIFEM, Opus Spectrum by the St. Lucia Writers Forum, as well as the Dictionary of Caribbean and Afro-Latin American Biography by Oxford University Press. She has also been featured in the St. Lucia Taiwan Trade Show, CariFesta, and the World Expo in Dubai. And she is the 2023 BGWT Excellence Awardee and the 2024 Anaconda Prize winner. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good day and hello to all your viewers and listeners from across the spectrum.
It's really lovely to have you with us today from St. Lucia in your home.
It's been all weekend. It's been raining all week. And I'm praying to all gods and goddesses for sunshine on Friday.
Oh, it's raining here as well. And let me tell you, it just has kept the temperature down because it's been quite hot these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Here too. Yes.
Well, it seems we're sharing some weather.
Yes, we're thankful for the coolness and bracing for the heat to come mid-year.
That's right. Dawn, on Book Club Corner, we sip and we chat. We don't just talk about books, we also talk about wines. And I'm having some more sorrel wine from a local winemaker, and his name is Luke Lashley. His wine brand is LLW Wines, and he has sponsored us a bottle or two or three, right, Luke, of his local wines. And we had some last week. We're continuing the libation this week with LL Wines. This is sorrel wine. So cheers to you, Dawn, having you on the show.
Right. Listen, now, we have a tradition that you must drink two because, it goes down into one leg and then you're lopsided. So when you finish that one, you need a second one so you can balance.
I love that. I'm stealing that, Dawn. I'm stealing that. St. Lucia knows how to do their thing. Listen, we're going on a quick break. And Dawn, when we come back, we're going to be chatting about the Nobel Laureate Festival and all of Dawn's books. Ladies and gentlemen, get your wines, get your drinks, get your snacks. It's mid-morning and we're the drinkers here on the Book Club Corner. We're going to be back in a few minutes. Cheers to you and see you right back here on Book Club Corner.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With Amplia TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with Amplia's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With Amplia, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. Amplia. Do more, live more.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Welcome back, viewers, to Book Club Corner, where we chat with local authors. Every Wednesday, we talk about books, the literary arts, all across the Caribbean and the diaspora. We chat with authors. And we have Dawn French with us today. She is an author out of St. Lucia, and she's going to be chatting with us today about all sorts of literary tidbits and great stuff. Dawn, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes,
Fantastic. I'm here. Listen, you were telling me about this Nobel Laureate Festival. Explain to our viewers what it is. You all are celebrating the 33rd year of the Nobel Laureate Festival. So tell us about that festival. Tell us about your participation.
It started out as a day because Sir Arthur Lewis won in 1979, the year of St. Lucia's independence. Sir Arthur Lewis won the Nobel Prize for Economics. And then in 1992, Derek Walcott won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Now, by coincidence, both men are born on the 23rd of January, 15 years apart, but so to Arthur in 1915 and Sir Derek in 1930. So the government decided to have a Nobel Laureate Day on the 23rd of January. That grew into a week, then it grew into a couple of weeks, and now we have a whole month of celebrations, lecturers. We just celebrate excellence. We use them as the benchmark, but we have excellence. So we have 2 Sabka laureates out of Trinidad, for example. Now we have two Olympic medals, thanks to Julian Alfred. So we just celebrate excellence across the spectrum under the umbrella of the 2 Nobel laureates.
I really love that. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to St. Lucians, wherever you may be across the Caribbean, across the world, across the globe. Congratulations to you. It seems excellence is in your DNA, right? Because 2 Nobel laureates. What is the population of St. Lucia?
Well, at about 180,000. So we also claim very proudly that we have the highest number of Nobel laureates per capita in the world.
We have to agree with you. I mean, come on. Congratulations to you all. You all are doing an excellent job, not just being good contributors to the world of excellence, but also taking the name of St. Lucia everywhere. I mean, Sir Arthur for science and Sir Derek Walcott for literature, 2 Nobel laureates from an island of 180,000 people. That is quite a feat. And I love that you all are celebrating the 33rd year in 2025 of the Nobel Laureate Festival. And you all are having an inaugural book fair on Friday.
Yes. So we also have the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, which is also the home of the Derek Walcott Library. So this year, the librarian and her team have proposed a book fair on the campus of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. And we, the authors in St. Lucia, are so excited. We've always been calling for a book fair. We do pop-ups now and then, we try things. But now the college looks like they're really going to institutionalize it. And we're having the first of what I hope is many. I was telling a friend of mine, 50 years from now, I want to be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Writers in Spotlight, So they're going to have, it's going to be on Friday, which is why I said at the beginning, I'm praying for sunshine, because we know paper and water do not mix well. And so it's going to be held on the campus of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. The press release said that there are 35 St. Lucian authors taking place. We're going to have readings, we're going to have book sales, we're going to network. There are a lot of young people, middle-aged people, older people who want to write, but they really don't know how to start. And so they can come and chat with us and network. And hopefully this is the seed that is going to grow into a mighty tree.
Yes, I really love that. It's such an amazing thing for you all to be doing, and supporting young emerging authors, older emerging authors, because there is no particular age that you can start writing. Yeah, so I really love that it is intergenerational.
in my social media post on it, when I'm encouraging people to come, I've been saying, are you struggling to write your novel? Are you thinking of writing one? Have you just begun?
Yes.
Come talk to us, because we're going to have people like McDonald Dixon, Jane King, Kendall
Mm.
Hippolyte. We're going to have the veterans there. We're going to have some rookies, some first-time authors like Christina Daniel, sorry. So we're going to have a full spectrum of people there. Some of us would like to sell a book or two, it's true, but we really want to have that village
Yes.
of authors and to chat and network. I'm working I have an unfinished manuscript at the moment. My editor is going to have a booth because he's just published a collection of poems. And I want to talk to him about when can we schedule for him to edit this manuscript. So it's not just Lucia. Once again, it's a big thing. We take the whole month, we take all of October, and we celebrate Creole Heritage Month. But it is also Caribbean Folklore Month. Marcia Gomes out of Trinidad has proposed that we're going to be in our 5th year this year, and every year it grows. So because I'm
Yes.
working on a manuscript of mythology, Caribbean mythology, I am looking to launch it in October. So I've got to get all my ducks need to be lined up. I need to get the
Yes.
illustrations finished, the editing finished, the corrections done, and the printing so I can launch in October. So yes, I do have some targets and goals I need to hit this year if I'm going to have this book ready for October for Caribbean Folklore Month.
We're such a small community. Marsha is my good friend, right? We just became friends, but Marsha is my
Right.
good friend. She Caribbean Books Foundation, and they have launched, as
Yes.
you rightfully said, Caribbean Folklore Month, where we celebrate across the Caribbean and in diaspora all our folklore characters. And Marsha is going to be on a panel with the Tobago Writers Guild on the Logos Hope on Friday.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about the impact of literature on culture. So, Marsha, we're talking about you, girl.
Behind your back.
Right? And we'll see you on Friday on the Logos Hope, Marsha. But yeah, I think it's very pivotal, very critical for us to celebrate fiction, folklore, and as well to make sure that it is something that is accepted as a world standard. We celebrate Halloween, we celebrate all the other
Things
mythological
that are not
creatures.
ours. Yes,
That's
yes,
right. And
yes.
we need to remember, Laja Bless and Sukunia and all of these creatures, Papa Boa and Mama Do,
You,
right? Yes, those are not characters that are below any standard anywhere, right? And we should elevate them. We should have the conversation and consistently make sure that we understand our mythology characters, our folklore, they are not just something for us to pull out to scare children, right? They are characters that can be put in books and made to have a full life. They have a
yes,
history, they have background, they have a future, right? And they can be used in our stories to create a world
absolutely,
that's not just for
absolutely.
scaring children into brushing their teeth and treating the environment well, doing
But
all the good things.
the 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 responsibility is the present generation to let the next generation know. And because we have fallen short, the generation before us told us. Now, they may have had the agenda of scaring us not to go out into the bush, or else, Number Den is going to grab you, or El Cuco is going to put it in the bag and have you for breakfast tomorrow because you've been naughty. It was all designed to keep you safe,
Yes.
keep you home, keep you safe. Don't be out driven around the place in the middle of the night because Phantom is going to get you. But we knew those stories because our parents and our grandparents told us. But have
Yes.
we been telling the next generation? I
Yes.
don't want to blame social media and etc. But have we taken the moment in time to tell our children? And I have found personally that regardless of the age of the young person, be they 5-year-old, be they 15 years old, once this topic comes up, they have a million and one questions and they won't let me go. I have had to
Yes.
have, after 2 hours, a teacher will say, but Miss French only came for 15 minutes. Or the school bus is here. We have to go. They are
Yeah.
curious. And so when I hear adults saying, oh, this generation don't want to know, that is not my experience at all, at
Nope.
all, at all.
Nope.
They want to know. And then, you go to, if you go to university, and so you go to university that's not in your country. So if you're in Trinidad and you maybe go to Cayville in Barbados, or you're in Barbados and you go to college in New York, or in St. Lucia and you go to England, that is when you begin to realize you are not grounded. And
Yep.
now you are overseas and you are calling home, because you have a project to do. They have assigned you something and you don't
Yep.
want to use Guy Fawkes, and you don't want to use Halloween. You want to use something from home and you realize you are a blank slate.
Yes.
So I have been saying for the longest while, we need an encyclopedia of these characters. We have enough characters to populate a million and one films in Hollywood. We don't need Hollywood characters. We have enough.
Yeah.
And when I speak Caribbean, I don't speak Anglo-Caribbean. I speak all of them. English, French, Spanish, Dutch. I'm trying to capture all, and I've encountered the I don't know, what I call the I don't know club. Many of us
Yeah.
don't know.
Yes.
I am liaising with a Jamaican friend of mine, and every time I find an article, I send it to verify, and he tells me I don't know. I talk to my Belizean friends. I don't
Yes.
know. I talk to my Trini friends. I don't know. So how am I verifying the information?
Yes.
The librarians are really helping me, and when I do these projects, I want a minimum of 3 independent sources.
Yes, that is the standard.
And then also remember, I'm chasing an oral history. So if I don't catch the elders before they cross the rainbow, that Wi-Fi connection is broken. I'm not gonna get them. So it has been
Oh
an interesting
gosh.
journey because I met the usual suspects, as we just mentioned. Laja Blaise, Sukuyan, Papa Bois, they crop up. But then
Yes.
we find out that have you ever heard of the Tonton Macoute?
No.
The Tonton Macoute were part of Papa Doc in Duvalier, the dictator in Haiti. He
Mm-hmm.
had this secret police force that would terrorize Haitians, and they had the name the Tonton Macoute. Now I grew up knowing that what the Tonton Macoute was, but my research has now shown me that the Tonton Macoute under Papa Doc actually took their name from Haitian folklore, and the Tonton Macoute is a character that the
Mm-hmm.
old people would scare the children not to go out at night, because if you went out at night and you were a naughty boy or girl, the Tonton Macoute would get you, put you in a bag, and eat you tomorrow for breakfast. So yeah, that's why I say it's a journey I'm on. I'm
Mhm.
learning. I thought I knew stuff, but
Yes.
I mean, what I don't know can fill the Caribbean Sea.
I tell
And I
you,
tend
I
to,
mean, so many of us, and as you rightfully said, it's when you leave the Caribbean you realize how little you actually know about your home, about the Caribbean region. And I have to tell you, when I went, because I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, I'm from Arima, and I went to school in Barbados for university, right? And when I got there, I wanted to cook some callaloo. I went to the supermarket. I bought what I thought was dasheen bush. I went home and I did the necessary. And when I tasted it, it did not taste anything like what we
it's like
have
mother's
home.
cooking at all.
Yeah, so I got on the phone. I said, Mommy, I don't know what I've done wrong. This isn't tasting like what. She said, well, Jewel, you're not in Trinidad and Tobago anymore. And across the Caribbean, we use different bush. So some people use Edo's bush, some people use dasheen bush. And that was news to me. So I was like,
Right.
so what bush do I have here? She said, well, I don't know. It may taste a little
You know,
different if it's
exactly.
a different bush that you have. So, it may be just that, you may not have done anything wrong to make it taste different, but it's just you're not in Trinidad and Tobago anymore, so you may have a different bush there in your pot, right? So she said,
Yes.
next time, send a picture. When you go to the supermarket, send a picture to me. I
Sure.
send the picture. She said, that is Edo's. I said, how do you know? She said, well, I grew up in Caroni. I know what Edo's look
I
like.
know
I
what
know
you're talking
how.
about.
Yeah, that is Edo's bush. I was like, so how will I know? That's when you realize how
That's
little
what,
they've passed on, how little you've been curious about. Because
Mhm.
I never asked, what do we
I
cook in the
went
Caribbean?
I went to a meeting in Barbados. It
Mhm.
was on a Saturday, and the hostess very gracefully said, "I will buy black pudding and sauce for everybody." Nice. I'm business. The thing comes, and I apologized to everybody on the table. I said, "It is not your fault. It is just a cultural thing. Where I come from, we do not make black pudding with sweet potato. We make it with blood. And when we talk South, we make it with pig feet, not pig eggs. And I'm so sorry, but it's not your fault. It's mine because I come from I mean, despite the fact we are Caribbean people
Yes.
together, I'm from a Creole background and you're from an Anglo background. I didn't say that part, but that was what was playing
Yes.
there.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
we use the same words,
But they're
but the
not the
interpretation is
same.
not the same. And so I couldn't eat it. I had to go and get something. Luckily, we're across from the mall. I ran across the mall, got something,
Yes.
apologizing the whole way because I don't want to insult my host.
Yes.
They're sharing their foods with me, and I was at pains, and I hope they understood that the problem was me.
And the expectation too, because I like you grew up hearing about my family. Well, I should say my mom and my dad, they weren't into the blood pudding, right? But if I
Right,
went by my grandmother, my cousins
right.
would go St. Helena and they would get this black pudding and come back late in the night, frying it up in the kitchen, the whole
Yes.
house smelling.
Smelling.
Well,
Yes.
I jump up. I say, well, what amazingness is this? The place smelling like. Can I have some? They gave me a little piece, right? And I ate this. I say, how I never get this in my life? This thing tasting real good. So every time I would go by my grandmother, my cousins would come home late with a little bread, the little black pudding. I would be like, I'd be up like a shot because I want
I'm
to get
happy.
some of that.
Raise your hand. I'm first
Yeah,
in the
and
line. Yeah.
exactly. And then I get to Barbados and I hear about this pudding and sauce. So I like, what? I have to get some of
My
this.
God.
And it was sweet potato.
Yes, yes.
And listen, Barbadians love sweet potato. A lot of Caribbean people love sweet potato. I don't love sweet potato. It's a love-hate relationship going on here with sweet potato. I'll drink it, but I won't eat it.
Right.
And it was, that difference is so true. We use the
Yes,
same words to describe the same things, like pay me. Pay me in Trinidad and Tobago is that cornmeal,
yes. And you should too.
raisins, coconut, sweet,
Yes.
looking like a pastel, but not tasting like a pastel. And
Do you
then we
wrap it in the
have,
banana leaf too?
yeah,
Do
and
you
then
wrap it in the banana leaf too?
correct, and the banana leaves. I mean, New Age, we use foil, right? But you're supposed to use the banana
This
leaves,
is
and
the
you
banana leaf.
exactly, and you tie it and all of that, right? And you
Yes,
put it down in the pot, and you steam it, not boil it.
yes,
And then I
yes.
got to Barbados, and they were into conkeys only at Christmas time, just like us with payme's. And I said, well, what is this conky? I have to try it. It was pay me.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, we are the same, just some little differences. And it's so nice when we travel across the Caribbean and we realize that there's so much that unites us, brings us together, and
Yes.
still so many differences that keeps us unique, uniquely Trinidad and Tobago, uniquely St. Lucia, uniquely Barbados. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
I've been finding that playing out in the mythology as I research it. Um, some
Yes.
some characters you'll find everywhere, like Anansi,
Mm-hmm.
and then some characters you will only find, like Blackheart Man in Barbados, Majinue in Saint
Yes.
Lucia. You will not find them. So I found the DDB Dragon in Suriname. You will not find them going into other islands, and I find that whole thing rather fascinating.
Yes. Don't be going on a quick break. I am so enjoying this conversation. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Dawn French. And when we come back, Dawn, we haven't gotten into any of your books. You realize we're just
Okay.
having such a ball. But when we come back, we're going to get into your books because you have quite a number of books, the Peanut Story series and some others that you've done. We're going to get into those and talk about those books. Don't go far, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be right back here on Book Club Corner in a very short break.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Welcome back to Book Club Corner, where every Wednesday we chat with a local author, publishing industry stakeholders, and those who simply love the written word. We speak to journalists. Once you write, you're a writer, right? And we love to entertain all sorts of writers here on Book Club Corner. Today we have with us a St. Lucian author, Dawn French, and Dawn is gearing up to celebrate the 33rd year of the Nobel Laureate Festival on Friday. Dawn, the books that you're taking to this festival, tell us about your books, how many books you have, because you have quite a number of them, and tell us about how you got into this, what you call the Peanut series, the different Peanut
series, the
stories.
Peanut tales. Right. So, yeah, I'll be taking some of the Peanut stories with me to the book fair. The Peanut series came about quite by accident, as many things do. I was taking part in a writing course run by the University of the West Indies Open Campus. It was sponsored by the Canadian government. It was a 6-week course. And it was poetry, prose, and plays. And so our first assignment was we had to write a short story. And at the time, I had been sent to Haiti during the course to respond to one of the hurricanes. I think I forget which one that hit Haiti, and I was sent in with Sidima. But I had this class assignment. Now, anybody who's into disaster management knows that the responders operate on their stomach. So the metabolism goes up and you're munching all the time. And so whilst I was waiting for our leader to come, I came with a massive bottle of peanuts, no lie. I came with a massive bottle of peanuts, and it was there on the table. And I'm thinking about my assignment back home, despite the fact that I'm in Haiti doing a response. Because when I get back, I have to hand in my paper. So I said, okay, I'm going to call the character Peanut. And the story is going to be about to explain to children when a hurricane is coming, what you can do to help, because you're little, and a lot of the information that is out there is targeted at adults, not at children. So I wrote that story for my class assignment, Peanut and the Storm, and this thing has just been a runaway train.
That is quite an analogy and an assessment in terms of all our disaster preparedness information is geared towards adults and not towards children. And children need to be, they need to have the information, they need to understand it, and they need to have their own prep as well. Because we know children and adults get separated sometimes in disasters.
Sometimes, yes.
What do they do? Do they even know, is mommy and daddy first name mom, right? Last name me, mommy, right? Do they know their parents' name? And we need to, there are some things we need to be doing with children, and I love that. So you created this Peanut character, and Peanuts are small.
She's 8. Yes, and she's 8 years old, and she is tiny, which is why her grandfather told me a whole world sprung out of this thing. So that's Peanut. So the whole world has exploded around this thing, and her grandfather called her Peanut because she was so small, and the name stuck. Right? So, we say at home, petit copa maladie, which translates into being little is not a sickness. And so she's the tiniest, but she is the bossiest one around. And so lots of things happen. You get to explain a lot of things to children. Actually did allergies once, Peanut and the allergies. So I had a 9-year-old at the time. She was 9 years old. Now she's a teenager. But she said to me, Auntie Dawn, I want Peanut to be allergic to nuts, but not to peanuts. And I thought, oh my Lord. So I had to go and research it. And it turns out it is quite possible, because peanuts are a legume. They're not a tree nut. So Peanut is allergic to almonds and pistachio and cashew nut because they are tree nuts. But she's not allergic to peanuts because peanut is a legume. And so I wrote the whole thing explaining to children what allergies are, the EpiPen, and the whole 9 yards of being careful when you have an allergy. So through Peanut, a lot of information gets disseminated, and the adults read it to the kids, but usually get informed as much as the children. Sometimes it needs research. And once it's something like that, I always give it to a subject matter expert. Yes. So when I did earthquakes, landslides, tsunamis, volcanoes, I asked the University of West Indies, the Seismic Research Center, and the guys and gals there double check the science for me. Because once you give this to a child, I had a friend tell me, I had Peanut, they were on the farm, and Peanut was saying, you can't get milk from a boy cow. And because I'd written it for kids. And my friend sent me a voice note and said, Dawn, you and your books. We're driving down the road and we pass this bull, and my daughter in the back seat, who is about 5, says to me, Mommy, you cannot get milk from a boy cow. And I'm telling her it's a bull, and she's insisting it's a boy cow. And I thought, Lord have mercy. I have to be as careful as I am being. I have to be even more careful because the children are absorbing the information.
Yes, That is hilarious. You can't get milk from a boy
Yeah,
cow.
because the whole point, yeah, the whole point
Listen,
of Peanut and the Farm was to
yes.
explain to children that food does not come from a supermarket. Food comes from a farm, and the farmer is very important, and the things he does and the animals you find on the farm. So I was trying to explain that, so I had to go in and change boy cow to bull and get that straight.
No, but that's a good explanation. I mean, what is a bull? A boy cow. We need to,
Yes.
you gave them the dictionary explanation and the term one time, so they know exactly what we're talking about. And I think
So
these Peanut stories are so amazing. Peanut being this small child and learning about the world. There's one called Peanut and the Dentist. Could we bring up that
yes,
book cover, Peanut and the Dentist? I love that. Listen.
yes.
That
Yeah, she
dentist
had to go
looks
to the
ominous.
dentist.
Yeah, he looks ominous.
Yeah, she had to go to the dentist, and the whole thing of not wanting to go, and then her mother having to deal with her. This one you're looking at there is because I was explaining the embassies in St. Lucia. We have 10 embassies in St. Lucia. And so, again, getting the information correct, I sent it to all the embassies in St. Lucia and had them verify that the information I was saying about the country and the embassy was correct. And the ambassadors helped me. So,
Yes.
uh,
And
yes,
this one here,
this is Peanut and the Monster Under the Bed.
I
Um,
love that you have so this title is in Creole. Yes?
yes, yes.
I love it.
So I did that story last year. I went to a school for reading month in May. I got invited to a school and we did Peanut and the Monster Under the Bed. And the whole concept is if you keep your room dirty, it is going to create the monster because the monster is made of dust balls and things you throw away. And so when I was finished, the teacher said, I'm going to fix my desk now because I don't want the monster we created to come after me. So it's
Oh
it's
my
it's
gosh.
really hiding lessons in a fun way.
Yes,
So
I love
during COVID,
yeah.
we did yes, Peanut is all right, not to feel all right.
Oh, the
Yeah.
peanut with the big
So
feelings, the big
yes,
emotions. Yes, how do you
yes,
deal with them and handle them? A little
yes,
peanut with big emotions. I love
yes,
it.
yes, yes,
These are one of the things we not need to. We are talking about it. I don't think enough. We're not talking about it enough. But we are talking about it with the children. And it's a different generation happening now where we are opening up. Parents are being more open with their children. The school curriculum is being more open. They're having
yes.
reproductive health education. They're having
Mhm.
family health education. And these are things that they weren't always in the schools. And parents
No,
they weren't always talking
it's
about
a
it with
different
their
world we're in
children.
now. We're in a different world now. So sometimes I get
Yes.
triggered by news. I get triggered by news articles as well. So there was an
Mm-hmm.
article that came out. I think it was from the BBC talking about how pedophiles are getting children to sex text them.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I had Pete, I think it's Peanut on the phone, and Peanut's mother sits down with her because there's this rumor going around about a little boy who has done that. And the mother has to sit with Peanut now and explain to her the good and the bad uses of a phone and what to be aware of. I
Mm-hmm.
did Peanut, I had one and the Monster, which is about domestic violence. And I went into a school to read it, and when I was done, the teacher said to me she was so glad that I came with that particular story because there are children in her class who are facing some of the scenarios that we were talking about in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So and
It
whenever I
it
do
breaks it down. Yeah.
yeah, well, whenever I do that Peanut and the Monster, I teach the children the word sanctuary because in the story Peanut's grandmother gives sanctuary to the neighbor who comes running to the house for help. And so I explain to the children what sanctuary, and I make them scream it for everybody down the road to hear. And
Yes.
once you give a child permission, and I say, I can't hear you, it's not loud enough. Oh, Lord, they really now break the decibel barrier.
Yeah.
And I explain to them that sanctuary means you give help now and you ask questions later.
Yes.
Somebody's asking you for help for sanctuary, you give it to them, and you don't ask questions at that time. Afterwards, you can ask all the questions in the world. So when we come out of doing that story, they have a new word that they can play with. Sanctuary.
Yes. I really, really, really feel that story because, you know, that Good Samaritan story that we are familiar with, some of
Yes.
us, right? Those who are in Christian faith may have read it in the Bible, the Good Samaritan. He comes upon this person. He doesn't, like, you know, start to interrogate them. Well, how you reach here? Well, what happened to you? Well, why they let you down?
Why they leave you there?
Yeah, why you out at this hour? Look at the time. You should not be out. That's why you get licked down in the road, you know? That's
Yes,
why you get
yes.
robbed. And I love that. Let's help first, and we'll ask questions
Yes,
later. So
So,
in this one, that is a lesson in itself.
yeah. So the
Render
Peanuts
help first.
skills
Yeah.
cover a wide spectrum of subjects for the children.
So this book that you're doing, what is it going to be called? Is this any Peanut series? Is this another Peanut story?
Which one? The one I'm going to read today?
No, the
Or
one
the
that you're
one before?
getting edited for October.
No. That one is a piece of nonfiction. I'm calling it Caribbean Legends, Myth, Folklore, and Tradition.
Oh, I love it.
And
Yeah.
the bibliography is 45 pages.
My God.
Because I'm in research
Bibliographies.
mode. The bibliography is a book on
Yes.
its own. I'm projecting that the book will be 450 pages.
So it's going to be kind of like if you wanted to know all the characters, all the folklore, this is a book to have.
If you had something, this is a research tool. Because when I started and I went into the libraries didn't have anything, and they're saying yes that the Form 5s are coming because they have the SBAs to do for CXC, and some of them want to do the mythology, and what they have at the library is so limited. So they were really happy that someone was coming along to put things together. And I'm hoping, and one of the things I have to do during this October timeline that we spoke about earlier is to find a sponsor. Because I would like to put 2 copies in every school on the island.
Yes. Well, Dawn, I want some of your books here in Tobago, in Trinidad and Tobago. Sponsors out there, let me help Dawn. Dawn needs some sponsorship for her book. It is an amazing project. The government of St. Lucia, please get to Dawn before anybody else gets to her and give her the money she needs right now, right? This is an amazing project.
Yes.
One of the things I think we don't always understand is how important research is to having some very credible and strong work, right? We don't want, when people are reading our work and our books, they're not sure if the information correct. It sounds a little iffy. And I commend you 45 pages of a bibliography.
Yes, because the bibliography breaks down by country. Because so despite the fact that the book does not break down by country, it breaks down by character. The bibliography breaks down by country, and I treat Twin Island states as separate because the mythology of Trinidad is not the mythology of Tobago and vice versa.
Yes.
So you could, when you go through the bibliography, you will get the sources for Tobago, and you will get the sources for Trinidad. You will not get the sources for Trinidad and Tobago. I treat them as separate. Same thing for St. Kitts and Nevis. So whenever there's a state, Antigua and Barbuda, I separate them as well, because I found that some characters may roll over, but very often they have their own indigenous folklore and mythology coming out of their situation. And so I give them the respect, and I just do them separate.
I commend you for that, because a lot of times when we're getting information and data, it is aggregate. It is amalgamated, and it's not doing anybody any favors, because then we want to know, well, how this song is a little more different than this one, and why it have a little more spice in it and a little less. And then we're diluting the information because we're not disaggregating it and making sure that it's, separate for wherever it has come from originally. And I commend you for that. Let me tell you, anybody out there who's been either to university or had to do research papers, when they hear 45 pages of bibliography, let me tell you, they all the fine hairs on their hands stand up because they're like, my God. And what style is this? APA, MLA? What is this?
I think it's the APA because I've been working with the librarian at the I think they call it UE Global now. It's not Open Campus anymore.
Yes.
But we have and the librarian. I have 3 librarians who have really been on this journey from me. From the National Archives of St. Lucia, the OECS Information Desk, and the UE Library that we have here. I don't think I could have done half of what I have done without these 3 librarians. They have really helped me because as librarians, they have access to a different host of databases than I do. So I do my research, and if I start to get stuck or I don't have enough sources, I turn to them to get those because I always work with a minimum of 3. If I get more than 3, then I'm happy. If I get less, I'm unhappy. 3 is my benchmark. So I turn to the librarians, and they have always been there for me.
Yes,
So
librarians are special people.
Yeah. So even right down to because sometimes I did not know how to write the bibliography citation for an interview because I'm chasing an oral history.
Yeah.
So when I sit with my mother, who is going to be 90 in August this year, God spare her life. And she starts to give me the information. I did not know how to write that down. And I turned to the librarians, I turned to the experts, and they showed me how to write because I have other interviews with people. She's not the only one, but I cite her for this interview. And so they showed me how to do the citation. And so I think we're using the APA.
Okay, that is so interesting. I mean, ethnologists, of course, they're going to be doing a lot of interviews with people, gathering the oral history, because they go straight to the source, they go hunt down these people and ask them the questions and gather the information. But for, persons like us who may be into academic research, we're using the book, so we don't always know how to document an interview for your bibliography. I think that is amazing. Listen, librarians are they're these rock stars of research, of academic work, and not just that, the amount of work that they do put in to make sure that the community enjoys the libraries and feel at home at the libraries. It's not just for academics, it's a refuge, as you say, a sanctuary. You can come into the library and get books and relax, sit and enjoy a good book. And our librarians here in Tobago are amazing. I want to, shout out Miss Fernandes in the Heritage Library and Lisa, who is in the Adult Library, and Miss Dinoon, who is the head of the Scarborough Library. I just had to put that out there. They're amazing people.
So what is happening now is that they are sending me stuff because they know I'm on the hunt. So in their day-to-day duties, if they come across something, if they'll tag me on Facebook, they'll send me a link. So it's coming back at me. I'm not always going to them, but stuff is coming back at me too from them.
They're phenomenal people.
It's just growing, and every time I think I'm finished, another character pops up. Because anybody who does research knows it's like a maze. So you're researching X, and then you notice X plus 1 on the side. Then you start to go, and you forget you're on X, and you're going down after A, B, and C, and then and there's another one down there, and before you check yourself, about 6 miles away from where you actually started.
Correct.
So it's I keep saying it's a journey because it is a journey of researching.
I have to commend you for not falling down the rabbit hole with research, right? Because we know how
I have fallen down. And
you're down there already. Yeah.
I have a network of friends across the Caribbean. So when I began this, I reached out to all of them. Belize,
Yes.
Trinidad, Martinique, just reach out to everybody and say, look, we need, and they have learned together with me, because
Yes.
bless them, when they say I don't know, they go and find it. They go and find an elder. They find someone to get the information for me. And in the process of me learning, they have learned about their Caribbean nation as well.
Yeah, listen, you have defined the two groups there. We talked about earlier the group that says, I don't know. But then there's the group that says, hold on, I don't know right now, but I'm gonna
Yes, that's
find
what they
out.
usually say. I
Yeah.
don't know right now. I'm gonna go and find out.
I
Yes,
love that. I think we need
yes.
more. That group needs to, the I don't know group needs to migrate to the I don't know right now group.
Right now, yes, yes,
Yes, we go
absolutely,
find out.
absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah,
Listen,
yes.
we're going to get into your book. We are heading into the read aloud segment of
Okay.
the book club corner. You're going to be reading from the book. I am going to leave our group on a cliffhanger. When we come back from a quick break, Miss Dawn French is going to be reading for us. Get your snack, get your drink. I know you didn't eat out all your snacks, right? You're like me. You didn't eat out all your snacks and you just drink out all the juice. Get more and come right back. And we're going to be hearing from Dawn French as she reads to us in our Read Aloud segment. We'll be right back.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
And we're back here with Dawn French, the St. Lucian author and a prolific writer. She's going to be reading to us from a book today. Dawn, we are ready. I have my wine. I am comfy. Take it
It's
away.
just a short clip. So I'm reading from a book called Overboard. And what you have to understand, if I can just quickly say, this is about Peanut as well. But Peanut, so you have the Peanut tales for children and the Sabine stories for adults. Adults with a capital A, this is not for children. So there were some things I wanted to resolve, but I could not resolve with 8-year-olds. I had to resolve with them as adults. So Peanut and her friends are now growing up. And this particular one, her daughter went on a boat ride from Castries to Soufrière and fell overboard into the harbor. And the whole palaver that followed as a result of her disappearing into the Black Sea and all what that happened. So I'm reading a quick section here where Sabine's daughter is called Alexandria, and she's been found, and so far all is well. So I'm just gonna read a scene here where, and Peanut's real name is Sabine. Anybody who reads a Peanut tale will know that Peanut's real name is Sabine James. And so Sabine here as an adult is talking to a friend of hers who helped to find her daughter after the accident. Cara! Everton recognized the number on the ID. Don't you Cara me, Sabine growled. Ah, Cara, why the attitude? All is well in the house of Smythe, and you call to... His tone changed. Why are you calling anyway? Everton, you came to St. Lucia, joined a search and rescue mission, found my daughter and returned her to me intact, all without one word of contact, not to me or with Fallon. Lex mentioned that she'd met you, but if Watson had not provided the after-action report, I wouldn't know the level of your involvement. ARs will get you every time. Don't be flip. Cara, what did you expect of me? How long have we known each other? Don't answer that. We have been on missions with me, kicking and screaming the whole way, but never saying no. And when the mission became critical, you did your duty. We have saved lives together and probably will again. Did you really expect me to sit at my desk? Well, when you put it that way, but you could have made contact with Fallon. You've known her just as long as me. True, but I made a judgment call. Sue me. There was a pause, then she sighed. Everton, sí, Cara. Gracias y te amo. Yo te amo también, Cara. Yo también. The lifelong friends left it at that.
That is so, listen, that is so Caribbean. You know me better than that. Where have you been?
Don't answer that. What I do as well is the vast majority of my work is based in St. Lucia or by extension the Caribbean. I very rarely venture out of the region with my stories. Even if I'm writing a piece of science fiction and the rocket has to take off, I use the European Space Station in Suriname. So I am very patriotic in my work. Sometimes I hide it. I hide it sometimes. So you might have, so the area code 758 pops up a lot in my work because the telephone area code for St. Lucia is 758. And so you may get someone knock on the door and say, is this apartment 759? No, this is apartment 758. 759 is over there. Now, 759 also has connotations for St. Lucia because in the deep dark days of COVID, the government put an artificial boundary and cut St. Lucia in two. So those of us in the north could not go south, and those of us in the south could not come up. And immediately, St. Lucians dubbed it 758 and 759. So you reading the story and someone asks the apartment number, it doesn't affect the story. But a St. Lucian reading it will go, and have a quick little giggle because they recognize the 758 and the 759. So I do that a lot in my stories.
And those are, we call Easter eggs, right? Things that we hide in stories that somebody who has an eye or an ear for it, like that dog whistle, they're going to pick it up. I love that about that story. That's so amazing. Tell us where in St. Lucia we can get your book.
Well, you have to come to the pop-up shop for the book fair because I had a friend of mine who opened a bookshop and was carrying a lot of St. Lucian titles, but she didn't get the support from the public, and so she had to close it down. And, people lament in St. Lucia that we don't have a proper bookshop, and it's true. But then when one did open, I went and shopped in there. When I go shopping in a bookshop, I shop triple digits. I buy books in a couple of $100. I don't come and buy one book. But even if you just came and bought one book, but a lot of people, didn't support it. Some of us did, but it wasn't enough to keep it going, and she had to close it. So now you have to, get the books online or keep an eye out, for events like what we're going to have on Friday with the book fair, and come and get the books.
Before we go and we wrap up, and I totally agree with you. We have to support local a little more. And some of the support is because we lack the marketing, right? So you don't always buy things you don't know about or you're not
Yes, it's
seeing.
true.
You know
It's
what I
true.
mean?
True.
We
Yes,
want to
yes.
support, we want to eat local, but all we see is the KFC ads, KFC ads, KFC ads, right? We have to go
Yes.
looking for the local food and the Creole food. And that's one of the things I always advocate. We need to support our local market with good marketing, right? So
Well,
that
I'm
people
being
are
silly here.
aware.
Maybe I'm being naughty,
Yeah.
but the Logos is in Trinidad now,
Yes, it
or
is.
Tobago, and it's coming up to St. Lucia in a couple later in the month. And
Correct.
I've been very blatant. I've been saying the Logos does not support local writers. Don't be like the locals. Come and support us. That has been. I'm sorry,
But let me
but
just tell you before you go, the Logos is very open to books from local authors. So the Logos
that has not
quote.
been my experience.
Well, I'm telling you now because I have had
Okay, new
authors who have
management,
donated books. So just letting you know, maybe things have changed, right? I don't know.
probably new management.
So,
Yes.
so if you, because they rely heavily on donated books to sell because they are, the prices that they want to sell at. So I'm just putting it out there. If you have some books and you want to get it on the ship, and the ship also has their own library for their staff and crew. So you can donate books to that library or you can donate books to the overall book ship, right? For
Right.
them to sell. But just letting you know, they are on the move to support local
They,
authors
yeah,
more
because
than perhaps
back
they
in the
used
day
to
they were
before.
not. So that is
Mm-hmm.
good, that is good progress because back in the day they were not. I know because I had
Yeah.
approached them. I had approached
Yes.
them. I think and it's a while. I think before COVID, I had
Mm-hmm.
approached them and they were not receptive at all.
Well, when I go down there Thursday and Friday, I'm going to verify and speak to them again and make sure. And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them, when you get to St. Lucia and you meet my friend Dawn, make sure and get some of her books on the boat, right? We don't want the boat to make the wrongs and I can't see Dawn's
You know,
books out
it
here.
wasn't a case of I walked up and had a conversation. I came with a written proposal. After all, I'm a writer.
Right. Yeah.
I wrote a proposal because I didn't know who I was gonna meet. And
Yes.
so, and then we started to have an email conversation based on the proposal I had delivered. And as I said before COVID, maybe things have changed now, new management, things change.
Yeah.
At that point in time, at that moment in time, they were not receptive. So it's good to
Yes.
hear that they're making changes that
They
I
are.
think are right
Yeah.
direction. Yeah,
Because I know
yeah.
a few authors who have donated books to them. Yeah, so
Cool.
I'm saying it based on that. Yeah.
Right, right.
Dawn, it has been quite a pleasure having you. The
Thank you so
conversation,
much.
very regional, very Caribbean, very us. Yeah, and we
Yes.
look forward to those in St. Lucia celebrating the 33rd Nobel Laureate Festival.
Festival.
And we congratulate St. Lucia, all those in St. Lucia, outside of St. Lucia, in the diaspora, for their excellence, winning 2 Nobel laureates, one from Sir Arthur Lewis for science and Sir Derek Walcott for literature. And as you say, you all have the highest number of Nobel
Nobel
laureates
laureate
per
capital.
capita. I love
Yes,
that.
indeed.
Listen, making the Caribbean look good, right?
Yeah, but
I love
we've
it.
got others because Trinidad has V.S. Naipaul,
Yes.
and then Guadeloupe had Beris Conde, and
Yeah.
when Jamaica Kincaid was nominated, I think 2 years ago, and she didn't get it, I mean, I was like, because I have a coming back to Peanut, I have a Peanut and the laureates where I explain to the children the
Yes.
laureates of the Caribbean, not just Saint Lucia. And so when
Ah.
I saw Jamaica Kincaid was nominated, I mean, I guess like a laser vision, because had she gotten it, I would have had to edit the book to add her. And she didn't get it. And I was like so peeled. I
And
didn't get
sucking
uh,
your teeth and all sorts of things. I
think
know the
it
feeling.
was me. You think it was somebody in my family that didn't get it.
I know the
Because then Antigua
feeling.
would have had one.
Yes.
But she can write Nobel laureate nominee, I suppose, the way they do like the Academy Awards. But she was shortlisted I think 2 years ago, and but she didn't get it. So hopefully she'll get nominated again, and she'll get it that time around.
Yes, we love when our Caribbean people, women and men, we're doing well. We're being celebrated and
Jump up
recognized for
and
our
scream
good hard
and,
work.
and wave a flag and say, "Yeah, man,"
Yeah,
Yes,
I love
yes.
it. So, Dawn,
Because like before Saint Lucia got the two Olympic medals. If we were not, you back Saint Lucia when they're in a race. I don't know if Trinidad operates that way. If Saint Lucia is in a race, we back in Saint Lucia.
of
And if Saint
course,
Lucia is not in a race, we're looking for the next Caribbean island to scream. And most times it's Jamaica if it's a sprint. So we balling, you swear we Jamaican, right?
listen, we're
So
regionalists, huh?
yes,
We don't just
yes,
celebrate our very
no,
own.
no.
We're
Yeah,
an
we celebrate.
entire
Yeah, yeah.
we're a Caribbean community. And on that note,
Yes.
we're heading off. Dawn, it was a pleasure.
Thank you so
We
much
hope
for
to have you
having
back
me.
soon. And some more St. Lucian writers. We're looking forward to having you on Book Club Corner. I want to thank you, Dawn, as well as the viewers across the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, wherever you may be viewing from, for tuning in to another episode of Book Club Corner, where we talk about books, the literary arts, literacy, everything to do with books. And we encourage you not just to read your own local books, but support the entire Caribbean. Let's read Caribbean, support our local authors and writers, and don't just delve into the US, UK, Australia. Let's support our own. We have quite a number of great books out there. So we'll see you next week, and take care of yourself, be kind to each other, and support local.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Tobago Updates Youth Wednesdays. I know, yes, you've been waiting to see my face this morning, and I'm happy to be here with you as well. This morning, we have a lot in store for you, but before we go on, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 29th January 2025. Secretary of Tourism Tasha Boris believes Tobago can lead the global steel pan movement. Boris highlighted at a welcome reception for Tobago's small bands the need to take local talent internationally. She announced plans for scholarships for young arrangers and expressed pride in Tobago's pan musicians. Boris emphasized unity among Tobago's bands and anticipated fierce competition at the upcoming National Medium Band Final. With the United States reviewing its foreign aid policies, CARIBCOM Impact's head Lieutenant Colonel Michael Jones says the regional security agency must adapt. Trump's recent executive order halts most U.S. foreign aid, affecting some training programs but not significantly disrupting operations. The Caribbean Crime Gun Intelligence Unit, the CCGIU, will continue its efforts, and Impacts will seek support from other partners, including South Korea. Some programs, like Trinidad and Tobago's civil-military coordination training, have been cancelled. Jones emphasized Impact's commitment to protecting the region despite the pause in U.S. assistance. Public Administration Minister Alison West announced the development of a remote work policy for civil servants. West highlighted a draft policy is under cabinet review following a pilot project. However, no timeline for approval was given. The ministry engaged Police Woman Constable Advisory Services Limited to assist in policy development, consulting key stakeholders. Meanwhile, Education Minister Dr. Nian Gasby Dolly reiterated Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's speech on education's role in preventing crime, but did not confirm any related government policies. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Alright, so we continue on with everyone's favorite part of Youth Wednesdays and need I say Tobago Updates TV. Let's head on over to our birthday segment. First up, we have the man Oriel Grant. Oriel, a happy birthday to you. I know you personally and I know that you are going to make the best of your birthday today. So happy birthday to you from the Tobago Updates family. And our last birthday this morning is Miss Astra Webster. A happy birthday to you and God's richest blessings for you throughout the rest of the day. And like my partner who is unable to join us this morning always says, I really do hope that those of you who unfortunately did not get to send in your birthdays this morning, you all have an enjoyable day. And maybe next year, Tobago Updates will look out for your birthdays to be posted. Alright, so we have a lot in store for you this morning. We have a few things to look forward to. Such as the 3rd annual Tobago Performance Survey is upcoming, and to speak on that this morning will be Karen Bart Alexander. She's a member of Tobago Civil Net. Then we'll have Mr. Kyle Joseph. A football scholarship program is to be discussed this morning, and maybe those of you who are sport enthusiasts, you all can tune in at that time, and please stay for the rest of the show. And then last but not least, we'll have Mr. or should I say brother Diamond Andrews, the ASI president, speaking on the ASI Convention 2025 that is currently happening. And that is your rundown for this morning. Now, before I go, I want you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With Amplia TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with Amplia's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With Amplia, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. Amplia. Do more, live more.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And I'll be your host for this morning. This morning, I am joined in studio with Mrs. Karen Bart Alexander. She is a member of the Tobago Civil Society Network, also known as CivilNet. So good morning to Mrs. Alexander.
Good morning, Natalia, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. It's a pleasure to be here once more.
It's a pleasure to have you indeed. Now, she's here to speak to us about, some of us may or may not know, the performance survey, the annual Tobago Performance Survey, and you'll be giving feedback on the performances from December 2023 to 2024.
That's correct.
Right? Based on your feedback in recent years past, Mrs. Alexander and her team, they would have put together a new, well, not really new, but made the improvements to the survey. So all of that will be shared with you all this morning. So before I continue, I want Mrs. Alexander to let you know who she is. So who are you, Mrs. Alexander?
I'm a development activist. I've been living in Tobago for the past 5 years, so I'm a Tobagonian by both. And I have been involved with development work for a long time. So when I came to Tobago, I decided to get involved with Tobago CivilNet because it is one of the premier development NGOs in Tobago doing some very good work. As you know, we've just completed the 4-part series on the public health approach to crime and violence. And that was virtual. So now we are working on the Tobago Performance Survey, and it has changed direction because in the past it focused fully on the performance of the THA. But now what we are doing is looking at how Tobago is performing, not just the THA per se, but also how the people of Tobago are participating in governance and how they are participating in improving the quality of life on the island and so on. So we had Tobago Analytics, not Tobago Analytics, sorry, NIGHTS Analytics, assist us to redesign the survey. And so we have a new product that is out there, and we are hoping that many people would respond to this survey. It is a joint effort by the Tobago Civil Net and also by the Tobago Council of Elders. And we are assisted in promotions by the Tobago Youth Council. So, you know, we have quite a number of people on board on this occasion.
It's a lot of support there in one.
That's right.
Yes.
That's correct. And the Knights Analytics Group, that is a data management company. They have done a very good job in terms of helping us to redesign the project, to get as much information as possible out of it. Because as you are aware, Natalia, development has to be evidence-based.
Yes.
You have to know what you are working on, why you are working on it, and you have to ensure that people matter in development. So the survey seeks to get information from the people on their life, their quality of life, and what they think, and whether they can meet their needs, and those kinds of questions. So it's very important that as many people as possible respond to the survey, answer the questions, and give us the information that would assist the powers that be, who provide the goods and services and so on, who help to improve the quality of life of people in Tobago, would have that data and that information to know what the needs are and so on.
Right. I know lots of people, you know, sometimes they might see this and they might not want to take part for whatever reason. But I'm going to jump on you with not jump on you, but get in with you in saying that I think is very important, because you did mention that the civilians, they also have a say in these matters.
Definitely.
And by doing this survey, they now have a voice into how Tobago is developed on a whole. Yes? Right. So
and it's totally anonymous. We don't want your name, we don't want your address, we just want to know what you think, how you feel, what your needs are, how you view the performance of the THA in your district, and that kind of thing. So it's very important.
Okay. And so what is the Civil Net? What is the Civil Net and its survey together, and how did this idea come about? Because it's saying that it's the 3rd annual performance survey. So in the past 2 years, what triggered you all to put a survey in place?
Well, we were thinking that if you have to have governance, you need to have monitoring, you need to have evaluation of that governance that is taking place. And so we came up with the idea of asking people their views on the performance of the THA over the period of 1 year. I think we had just changed, when we started, we had just changed the THA grouping, and so it was important that we keep abreast of what is happening, how people are feeling, what they're doing. It wasn't being antagonistic or anything to the administration. What we were trying to do is sort of keep the administration knowing how the people are feeling, what the people are thinking, what the needs of the people are in terms of their governance and their performance, and so garner better leadership from the THA, because if you know that people are monitoring your performance, then you tend to perform better. You tend to want to do more.
Yes.
So this, I think, was what instigated the performance survey, and it is something really that should always be thought of when we have governance going on. How is that governance impacting the people? How are the needs of the people being met? Is the administration being favorable to the people? Are they doing what the people want them to do?
Yes.
And that kind of thing. So this was the motivation behind the survey in the first instance. But what happened was that the questions that we asked, some of the questions were a bit very general, and many of the questions people didn't really understand, because they're not keeping abreast of what is going on and how and what the THA is doing and so on. We noted that there was a need for the THA to give more information to the people so that they can be more competent in answering the questions we were asking. So we reviewed the questions so that now we have 4 categories of questions. One will be on the quality of life in Tobago, yes, and the other question will be on participatory governance. And then we are asking people, how are you contributing to improving Tobago? So people now have the opportunity to say what they are doing to improve life in Tobago. And there's also an open section where we are asking them what are the needs of your district that you want to see addressed by the THA. Yes?
Okay.
And there is also another question there, and that question is, what suggestions do you have for improving the quality of life in Tobago? And these are very important questions to be answered by the citizenry. So if we get many, many people, as I'm hoping we would get, answering all of these questions, then we have a lot of data to work with. The THA has a lot of data to work with. But this is not political. We are not here to to help any particular party or anything like that. We are here to ensure that the views of the people of Tobago are known, and that their needs are known, and how they feel and how they think is out there, so that people can, those who have the authority and the validity to address those needs, can go ahead knowing that they are doing it on the basis of evidence that has been supplied by the citizenry.
Okay. All right. So we know that the youths are a major part of Tobago's development, where upcoming, they're the ones, the future leaders, as everybody would say. So does the survey, in reviewing the survey, does it cater to school children? What age ranges does that survey cater to?
Everybody who can